Here's the 30-second lesson on what legends know. Never practice nunchucks in a crowded room. Never eat chole before a road trip. Always take your shirt off before you iron it. Don't take a call near a swimming pool. And don't forget, saving is not investing. Legends don't just save, they invest in mutual funds. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
The piping hot bear paw soup made from limbs freshly hacked off still living moon bears is rumoured to be fresh local produce along with the tiger bone wine, rhino penis and pangolin scales they're paired with. There's no way to know for sure, but the local zoo, about which there are dark rumours, discourages visitors. A fleet of Rolls-Royce limousines ferries tourists from the jetty at Ban Mom or the road from Chiang Rai, gliding past the four Grecian columns and the statues that line the entrance to the King's Roman Casino, the kitschy crown jewel of Laos' Golden Triangle Special Economic Zone. Low, lush green hills holding it in their embrace, King's Roman is among a dozen of de facto narco city-states that have sprung up along China's southern borders. Free trade zones like Dubai or Singapore offer banks and multinational corporations security, efficiency and order. King's Roman provides the same services to drug traffickers, cyber criminals and money launderers. This week, 47 Indian nationals arrived home from Laos, rescued after months of being enslaved in camps running industrial-scale pig butchering scams from these narco cities. Luring the lonely and the gullible of the world to hand over their money, the workers had been made to pose as attractive single women on dating apps, weaving irresistible cryptocurrency deals into the virtual pillow talk. Last year, Americans lost an estimated $4.4 billion to pig butchering frauds. Even though the SEZ has been named in multiple international criminal investigations and faces United States sanctions, an airport offering direct flights from Vientiane just opened, and there are plans to develop a port on the Mekong which will offer narcotics cartels direct oceanic access. King's Royal is what happens when organized crime becomes the business of nation states. As Myanmar implodes under the weight of civil war, this model seems set for explosive, inexorable growth. Little is known about Zhao Wei, the emperor who rules King's Romans, together with his queen, ethnic Chinese Australian Gui Kin Su. Thought to have been born in 1952 either in Heilongjiang or Liaoning, Zhao became involved in the highly criminalized world of shipping timber from Myanmar into southern China. For several years, Zhao then worked in the casino industry in Macau, which is known to be deeply enmeshed with Chinese organized crime groups, the so-called triads. The Macau casino industry, experts believe, played and plays a key role in letting Chinese elites launder their income and transfer their wealth abroad. Then in 2001, Zhao struck out on his own, becoming a central figure in the booming casino industry in Mongla, a town in northern Burma held by ethnic Wa insurgent groups. Long held by the People's Liberation Army-backed Communist Party of Burma, Mongla was one of several zones carved up among rival warlords after the collapse of the communist insurgency. The scholar Bertel Lintner records that insurgent commander Mingshen allowed cartels to set up narco laboratories guarded by his ethnic Shan troops. Ling used the profits from the narcotics operations to invest in casinos as well as related operations like hotels, sex work and karaoke bars. For a while, Mongla became a hub for Chinese tourists, evading the domestic ban on gambling, with busloads arriving across the border for day trips. The town, reporter Andrew Jacobs wrote, came to resemble, I quote, a neon spaceship that crashed into the jungle. In 2005, though, reports emerged that several Chinese had been made prisoners for their failure to pay casino debts in Mongla. Even worse publicity exploded after it turned out that Chinese public servants had been gambling away state funds in the casinos. The Chinese authorities now introduce new rules requiring that its nationals get permits to visit Mongla. Even though illicit cross-border visits remain pretty commonplace, the top end of operators like Zhao saw the writing on the wall and left the market. The move to Laos, the International Crisis Group would later report in an investigation, wasn't easy. Laos granted Zhao near sovereignty over a 10,000 hectare area on the Thai border, ostensibly devoted to manufacturing, agribusiness, and tourism, in return for a 20% stake in the project. Local crime lord Nok Ham, whose barges transported heroin and methamphetamine along the Mekong into Thailand, correctly saw the new arrivals as a threat. In 2011, he kidnapped 13 Chinese sailors and gamblers, taking them hostage and demanding $750,000 as a ransom. Like 9/11, the eventual killing of the hostages embedded itself in Chinese popular imagination. The journalist Jeff Howe recorded that 10-5 and its residue of beheaded, tortured bodies demanded retribution. Led by Liu Yujin, the head of the Narcotics Control Bureau in China's Ministry of Public Security, a special Chinese team tracked down, captured Nok Ham. To the government in Beijing, proxies like Zhao seemed a good tool to bring order and disciplines to the criminal enclaves on its borderlands. They shouldn't surprise us. The rise of European nation states in the 16th century on, the political theorist Charles Tilly famously noted, was enmeshed with criminality. As pirates and outlaws massed influence, wiping out their competitors, they came to exercise a monopoly over violence and the organization of capital. This was basically the model China sought to replicate on its borders through clients like Zhao. King's Roman scholar Paul Nieri has noted, wasn't the only one of its kind. In 2007, the Laos government granted Trafficking, a Hong Kong-based company, a 16 square kilometer land concession across the main border crossing at Boten. Again, a casino became the centerpiece of development together with sex work and drugs. Trafficking also constructed hotels with an estimated 2,700 rooms, as well as factories with attached dormitories for workers. For all practical purposes, Boten seceded from Laos. The yuan served as the sole currency, and even clocks were set to Chinese time. Chinese providers set up the mobile phone system and internet networks for the SEZ. Like at King's Royal, local police had no power to enter the area, for which security was provided by private militia wearing uniforms resembling those of the Chinese police. Scholars Jason Tower and Priscilla Karp have written that the criminal city model continued to thrive in Myanmar too. From the casino town of Shui Koko on the border with Thailand, a joint venture between Chinese investors and the Myanmar border guards, one company openly offers to move earnings out of the country using a dedicated encrypted digital currency platform. The town of Myawaddy, similarly, now has Saixiang Industrial Zone, led by Wan Kwok Hai, a convicted gangster who's known in the criminal community as Broken Tooth. For criminal cartels of all kinds, the casino cities on China's peripheries offer security and something else that's very important, immunity. In King's Roman, Nathan Paul, Southern and Lindsay Kennedy report, prison-like multi-story dormitory complexes sealed off by barbed wire house the cyber slaves used in the pig butchering operations. Lured by high wages, workers from the Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia and India eventually discover that attempts to escape or even failure to meet their assigned quotas can lead to severe beatings, even being tasered. Local residents told the journalists that they've learned suicide by workers is commonplace. Even though the criminal operations at King's Roman have been widely exposed, they continue to enjoy the very public patronage of high officials in both Laos and China. Kennedy and Southern reported last year that new constructions included, I quote, a shiny new Chinatown complete with statues of Confucius and Disneyfied traditional shophouses selling knockoff Gucci gear. In other words, just like a mall. Even though diplomatic pressure has helped some Indians escape cyber slavery in Laos, thousands more are believed to remain trapped in the cartel's prison factories. The far more significant impacts of the casino cities, moreover, remain unaddressed. The flow of methamphetamines is a growing transnational threat across the region, and the ease of laundering funds through the casinos' facilities gives organized crime effectively access to a parallel criminal banking system. The scale of human suffering unleashed across the world by the criminal empires nestled inside East Asia's failed state ought be enough reason for the world to be working together to end this. There's little sign of that even beginning, though. I'm Praveen Swami, and I'm a contributing editor at ThePrint. Thank you for watching this episode of Security Code.